Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of AIC TV. I'm Edward KARR, your host, in conjunction with Dukascopy TV. And joining me today back in the studio is my friend and, ladies and gentlemen, the #1 performing technology manager in Europe, Ed Schneider with Quan Funds. Ed, welcome to the show.
Ed, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me again.
Ed, it's so great to have you back. I mean, this is an exciting time in the technology space. For instance, the Quan Fund last year, #1 performer, you were up 70%. 70%, ladies and gentlemen, in 1 year. How'd you do it, Ed?
Okay. So, again, it's the approach that really matters. And the approach is that we're very, very focused just on information technology. But within that, we were very, very opportunistic. And if you remember our last interview we had back about 18 months ago, we made an investment in a company called Pivotal Systems. And we mentioned that it was undervalued and we were carrying it at cost. Well, what happened was the value of Pivotal Systems went up a lot last year. And that was a major investment for our fund, and that helped us get that 70% performance.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow, that is incredible. So, I mean, exciting time, Ed, in the technology industry. Apple is trading over a $700 billion market cap. A lot of things going on. These social media stocks been on fire. Is there another 70% gainer out there? What are you looking at now for 2015 for the Quan Funds?
We actually are looking at a new investment, and it's actually in Switzerland, in Lausanne at EPFL, and there's a company called Actlight that has a very unique business model and very unique technology. And this is in the semiconductor space and the photonic space. It's actually, they have a silicon-based photodiode that runs on a time-based current as opposed to a constant current. And what this does is this makes the power usage, the form factor, the latency exponentially better than what exists today. And what this company is going to do, they're going to use an ARM business model where they're going to basically get license and royalty revenue by giving this to TSMC and many other fabs to produce themselves.
Wow, sounds great.
I want to bring out another point. I think in Europe, there's a lot of companies like Actlight that are having trouble getting funding because there's a lot of focus on social networking, social media companies, and internet companies.
Sure.
And that's where a lot of venture is going to, and there's now a gap that needs to be filled, especially in Europe, with these world-class noble technologies that are not getting funded. And I'm actually working on another initiative, especially up in the Nordic region where there's a lot of activity.
A lot of great technology out of Scandinavia, huh?
Amazing technology. And these companies basically need some venture support for these longer-term investments that have quite a lot of potential.
Fantastic.
And there's it's called the Fab Light model, and we'd be working with local fabrication facilities in Scandinavia near university research to get these research companies moving from just research out onto a pilot production basis where they could then work with a TSMC or other large fabs to become world-class global companies.
Wow. And so if investors, they participate through the Quan Funds, they can actually access those sort of investments in technology.
Quan can be an investor in these, as well as maybe some other government-backed fund initiatives as well that would take place in Sweden.
Wonderful. Ed, I mean, absolutely fantastic. Congratulations on the year 2014, up over 70%. I mean, tell us, if an investor wants to find more information on Quan Funds or even subscribe, how do they get more info?
If you would like to then get more information, including subscription, you would then have to send us an email, and we would give you the password where you can then subscribe online with the documents.
Okay. And what is the website?
And the website is www.quanfunds.com.
Fantastic. Ed, thanks so much for coming in and sharing some more insights on the technology field.
Well, thanks for having me over, Ed. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
It's always great. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching another edition of AIC TV in conjunction with Dukascopy TV. Edward KARR, your guest host. It's just amazing, you know, to have people like Ed Schneider, #1 technology fund manager, also a member of the executive committee of the American International Club. So stay tuned in the future for more exciting interviews.